Hello everybody, welcome to StrawbsDesign podcast. This is episode 30 and today is a Wednesday, the 12th of June in 2019. My name is Anne or Anne and I'm coming to you from Scarborough in Perth, Western Australia. I've got a lot to tell you because it's been such a long while since I last recorded an episode. I'll try not to go too much into the reasons why, because otherwise this will be a monster episode. But I was actually aiming to get an episode out on the second birthday of my podcast, which was on the 10th of April. So yeah, we're over 2 months late from that. But yeah, I had a few milestones there because I had the second birthday. I've now got well over 500 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Thank you everybody. It always makes me really happy to see new subscribers. And I also have almost 500 subscribers on my Instagram account, which is StrawbsDesign, if you want to go and have a look at that. I haven't been very active there either lately because, I don't know, I've just been off social media, I guess. Which is good, isn't it? But today I've written here that I've got 8 finished objects, but I also have a couple of sewing projects, just a few project bags, so basically I've got 10. I've got 3 works in progress that I'm going to show you. I'll quickly run through the statistics for March, April and May, and if we have time I'll go through some acquisitions because I've been spoiled again by my mum. But should we get started so that we can just rush through it all and get you up to date, and then I don't have to stress about these old whips again. I've shown them all to you, and then we can start afresh in the next episode. So the first finished objects, I'm going in the time order when I finish them, and you've seen these as a whip before. So it's Finn's little mitts. And the pattern for these is called Piitu Mitts. And the pattern is by Heidi Allander, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry. This yarn doesn't show it as well, but it's got this lovely lace panel at the front. And I made these, I think I made these exactly like with the same stitch count as in the pattern, but I used a thinner yarn, so I got these to fit perfectly on my 6-year-old's hand. The yarn I've used, have I got it here? Of course I don't have the labels here, yarn labels, but I've used Knit Lob's layer, Louhittaren luola, Ilmatar base, which is 50% merino, 50% silk, I believe, and this orange multicolored one, I think this colorway was called Kekale. I can't remember the blue colorway, but I have got a Ravelry project for these. I'll link it down so you can go and have a look if you're interested in the details for this yarn. But yeah, I think the weight of the yarn is light fingering, bordering on lace, but on the side of light fingering. So I used 15 grams in total. I don't know how much of the blue and how much of the orange, but 15 grams in total for these. And I made them with 2.75 mil needles. And yeah, this is the third pair of these Piitu Mitts that I've made, and I absolutely love the pattern. It is so easy and so quick to make. It's, yeah, you learn the lace pattern by heart very quickly. And these have already been worn quite a bit, so yeah, very nice. Still have to make a pair for Felix, so we'll see if that's ready for next winter or something. Next one, socks. And I have to apologize because all of these socks that I'm showing you now, they have been worn. And I haven't washed them just now because, yeah, this opportunity to record came all of a sudden. So these will be dirty and look a bit yucky, but at least you can see what they look like, you know, after some wear and tear. So these socks are called Salmarisukat. The pattern is from the Taito magazine, issue 1 from 2018. The yarn used for this is Finnish yarn company Novita, Seitsemän veljestä. It's quite a thick sock yarn. I believe it's probably, I'm not sure about, maybe Aran or worsted. I'm not quite sure about those, which one is thicker and which one's thinner, but thicker than DK. And yeah, it's got this nice pattern on them. And as it's such a thick yarn, and because yeah, both yarns go around the whole sock, these are really, really nice and warm. I used 3.25 mil needles for these, and this is, yeah, these are for me, so about European 38-39 size foot. And I'm not quite sure about the yarn usage because I've written in my notes that I've used 112 grams in total, and then I had 79 grams of the main color, the light color, and 37 grams of the contrast color, but that doesn't add up to 112, but thereabouts. So about double the amount of the main color compared to the contrast, and just over 110 grams. So these socks, I got these done, and I can show you the yarns that I use. So this is the Novita Seitsemän veljestä, 7 brothers. Oh yeah, I can tell you how much. Okay, so this is a 150 gram ball, and it's got about 300 meters, so 200 meters to 100 grams. And it is, I think 75%, yeah, 75% wool, just normal wool, and 25% polyamide. Yeah, and the color number is 047 for this, and my contrast color is 048. So these two grays that I used. Yeah, I really like this pattern as well. The heel that I've used is a, yeah, what is it? I think this is a tiimalasi-kantapää. Is it a short roll heel then? I'm not sure about the name, but I don't think it sits in my foot that well, so I might stick to the traditional heel flap and gusset from now on. And these, I think these were knitted from the leg down, and this is the basic decreases that I always make for the toe, so whatever that is called. I know that it's leveä nauhakavennus in Finnish, but I've got no idea. It seems that I'm knitting all my socks in Finnish, So that's why I don't know the know the names in English. And I've kitchened the toe there. I do the Kitchener stitch with the needles, and I think it's really easy and quick and pretty, so that's what I've used there. Salmarisukat. Okay, next one. This one is, yeah, just be aware that these are really grubby looking because they're just about to go into the washing machine. We went down south on the weekend and I wore these there the whole time. So, yeah, they're a bit grubby. And they've got sticky tape at the bottom. There's some reality for you guys. Pattern is Petty Harbour Socks. A free pattern on Ravelry by Raina Curtis. And these were a part of, there was a knit-along by the Finnish podcaster Nannu Neulaja, and she's running the box of socks in Finland for this year. So this was 1 month's knit along. So really easy four round pattern. A really fun to knit, real fun to knit, and yeah, it looks pretty. I wasn't quite sure how it would look in these socks or in this yarn because I used this multicolored yarn for it, but it looks really nice, and I love this yarn. This is a Finnish indie dyer Rouva Silmusolmu, her merino sukkis, which is a merino sock yarn. 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. 425 meters per 100 grams. I'll show you. This is her yarn label, and there's the description. This color is called Päiväuni. It's got really light, nice greens and pinks in it. Oh, maybe I'll show it here. I can't believe how sunny it's now. It's been about a week now of rain and wind and cloud and real winter weather here in Perth, and now we've got the first day with more than 5 minutes of sun, and it's really beautiful, so I shouldn't complain. But what did I still need to tell you about these socks? Yes, I used 67 grams of the sock yarn and knit it with 2.25mm needles, 2 at a time. And yeah, it was started from the leg down. And I can't remember anything about I must have just done the normal reinforced heel flap, because I thought it would look a little bit the same as the pattern. So heel flap and gusset. Maybe I did whatever it was on the pattern, I just can't remember. And the same decreases at the toe, and then a longer Kitchener stitch toe at the end. So yes, very well worn grubby socks that have been through the wash a few times already, and these they just feel so good to wear, and I think they wear really well as well, and they're nice and thin. So that's the Petty Harbour socks. Then we've got some teeny tiny socks that you've probably seen before, unfinished. There's still a bit of this problem there. But these are Flixi's socks, just made out of scrap yarn that I had. He chose the colours. So these are for a 3-year-old. Hopefully they still fit here. I make them so tight, so I need to remind myself not to make the kids' ones so tight, because they find it difficult to put them on. I like my socks tight. I don't mind if it's a bit of a struggle to get them on, but I like them really snug so that I can wear them in shoes. But here's our Flixi socks, and there's two. Okay. So instead of the rib, I used this is Villapesusiskot in Finnish. So it's a cable, but you don't have to swap the faux cable? Maybe that's what it's called. I don't know. So you don't have to swap the stitches between the needles and do all of that. You just you just pull one stitch over the others, and that's how you make the cable. So that's the rib part with the faux cable. I continued one faux cable down the whole sock, and then just the basic heel flap and gusset, and the same toe again. This one actually is probably just the same basic toe that I do, and then Kitchener stitched it. And these are just, some scrap yarns. I think this is, the blue one is Novita Nalle. So this is about sport weight. It's a little bit thicker than the other ones. This camouflage colored army yarn, this is some Novita as well, I think. I got no idea which base it is. This is so old. This is over 15 years old, I would say. I bought it in Finland when I still lived there. And the red is Novita Venla, which one of my lovely viewers sent to me, and she's dyed it herself. So that's Flixi socks. Yeah, and the cable, the faux cable runs on the outside of the foot in both socks. So I should really get to these ends and finish these for Felix so that he could wear them now that we've got the cold weather. And because he's got new gumboots, so these would be perfect. Altogether I used 38 grams for these little socks. They are for a 3-year-old, so I don't even know what size this is. And 2.25 millimeter needles. Maybe that will show you a bit of a size. That's Flixi socks. Then, moving on to a really, really beautiful cowl. We went to Broome, which is in northern Western Australia, a tropical touristy town for over a week over Easter. And this was my project there. So very appropriate for about 37 degrees and humid. This is called Birds and Sheep's Cowl by Caitlin Hunter. It's a paid for pattern. I think it's about $5 US in Ravelry. And it's a lovely cowl, which is shorter at the back, so it's really comfortable to wear. And it's got this beautiful lace at the front, and then you can attach a pom-pom. I'll put it on and show it for you. I have not given this a bath, and I haven't blocked it at all. So this is straight off the needles, and I've just been lazy and haven't done it. And I've started to started to use it. So I would like it to be slightly wider, just so that it doesn't come so close to my neck. But that's all right. I'll wash it at some point and then stretch it. And there's even a nice detail at the back. There. But yeah, I'll put it on so you can see what it's like. See, it's a little bit tight, but it's really good under a jacket. And then, yeah, no wind will get there. There. So the yarn I used for this was, this was from the pack that I got for my Versus Unite shawl. This was the color that I least liked and didn't use much of it. So it is Kässäkerho Pom Pom Merino Single in color Daydream. So that's their label. There's the details. Yeah, so this one is 100% superwash merino. And I seem to have, how much do I have left? I've got 28 grams left, so there's still something that I can make with this. But I thought that that would be a nice yarn to use for this cowl, because I saw this, I think there was a discount or something for the pattern. So I went and bought it because I got discount. And yeah, I really wanted to make this because I thought it was such a pretty pattern and a nice shape. So I might have to make another one in another color. I really like these cowls now. Yeah, okay, so I used altogether 66 grams for this. The tassel is about 5 grams, so 61 grams for the actual cowl and then 5 for the tassel. And I used 3.5 and 3.75 mil needles. Oh, sorry, phone. Okay, so let's continue. So that was the cowl. I really recommend this pattern. This was really lovely. And then more socks. These are grubby as well, but these are beautiful. I had bookmarked this pattern ages ago. It was in my favorites. It's called Kalajoki socks. So Kalajoki is a river in Finland and a town. And this is the pattern. It was a free pattern by Tiina Partanen. Now I'm not sure if it's only in Finnish or if it's in English as well. I have a feeling it might be also in English. I'm not sure. You can go and have a look. I'll put a link down below again. But yeah, this really lovely pattern with the river going on the outside of the foot. And then just the standard fairly low leg on the sock. And this one's got the heel flap and gusset as well. And the my basic toe decreases and KitchenAid top. And these socks I made with tukuwool sock. It was my first time using tukuwool sock. I've had the fingering before. I had 250 gram skeins that Mum sent me, and this is how much is left. So that's tukuwool sock, which is 80% Finnish wool and 20% polyamide. 50 grams is 160 meters, so 100 grams is 320 meters. It's a spot weight, and the color name is called Kajo. And I used 75 grams for these socks. And 2.75 mil needles. And they are for me again. Really nice, a little bit thicker sock than just the fingering weight ones, but not as thick as these ones. So I've got all different thickness socks now for myself, which is lovely. I need more though. I'm using these all the time now that it's winter. Then I've got socks that I don't have with me here because they were Mother's Day socks. I made just basic 1 round stripe socks with I'll show you a picture. This is all I've got. So the green there is Filcolana arvetta, or I don't even know how to pronounce it in English. Let me grab it. That's it, arvetta, classic, however you say that. It's 80% superwash merino wool and 20% nylon, and there is 420 meters in 100 grams. So yeah, that was the green was that, and the lighter color is Patternal Merino Ombre, and it was like a off-white to a very, very, very light beige. There was a tiny little ombre on it. I don't have the leftovers here, so I can't show you, but yeah, so those were for my mother-in-law for Mother's Day. 60 grams altogether, about 35 grams of the green and 25 grams of the white, and 2.25 mil needles again. And yeah, that was those socks. And then another cowl. This one is called the Verso cowl by Anna Johanna, and this is a paid for pattern as well. On Ravelry it was €6.90 the price for it. And this was one pattern that I just had to make when I saw, was actually it was one of the test knitters version that made me do this. It was a bit similar. I can't remember her Instagram handle, but she had used a grey like this and a white with a little bit more colour in it, like speckles, coloured speckles. And her version was so beautiful. So I wanted to make one as well. What I've used for this is, let me this is the grey. This is Dingo Dye Works Fair Dinkum base in colour pinky. And I think this is a non-superwash, non-treated merino. It's not a merino single, but this is super soft, really nice. And then the white, this is a leftover from the Vertices Unite shawl packet as well, or shawl kit. Have I lost the, yeah, I don't, there we go, here it is. So the label for this is, it's Kässäkär Hopompom Merino Single again in the colorway Tivoli, and 100% superwash merino, 366 meters in 100 grams. So that one. So those were the main colors. So I used it for this lace section, and then this lace in the pattern. All of this lace was in one color, but I wanted to break it up a little bit. And I also have the white in these stripes. I've done every other stitch in the white and every other stitch in another yarn. I'll show it to you soon. and this is this broken seed stitch or seed stitch. Yeah, here I've used the same yarn as here together with the white. So this one was a leftover fisherman's rib. Their etching lush base, which is single ply superwash merino, about 400 meters and 100 grams. Colorway summer reading. And this, can't quite see, there's quite a bit of this salmony color in it. It blows out a little bit in this light, but it's a really lovely color. And I started this cowl from this end, and I was using other little leftovers I had. So these two stripes are one, then there's a yellow stripe, then there's two other those stripes in another color. But I felt like they were a little bit, I wanted it a bit more unified, so that's why I then used this white and that summer reading in those stripes to get it a little bit more of the same. And this is what it looks like on. You can't, I haven't figured out a way to wear it yet so that you can see all of these lovely little, or lovely different patterns. But I guess you can swap and change it based on your mood. Where's the seam? There. So that you can see either this lays a bit better and these stripes, or the other end. But yeah, a really nice cowl to wear under a jacket again when you don't want a big shawl. Compared to this cowl, I think this one is nicer to wear just with a jumper without any jacket on, because it sits a bit nicer because it falls down a bit more here. But yeah, I've worn both of these quite a bit already this winter, and I love them. This one, I did weigh it, but I didn't write it down there. Let me just put 80. Okay, so this one weighs 86 grams. I'm not sure how much. Oh, maybe I do. Let's have a look. I've got some notes here. Okay, I'm not going to say it now. I will put it in my Ravelry projects, how much of each color approximately I've used. Okay, let's calculate. Looks like 36 grams of this, so the 36 grams of the grey, and then I should have 50 grams of the other. Maybe I'm not calculating well yet. $37 grams, 36 and 37 grams. That's what my notes would tell me. 36, 37, 6 grams of these, and then the rest, couple of grams of each of these. So, oh well, I'll put that in Ravelry's if anyone's interested in the in that. But this is a really good project to use. Like, I had the tiniest little, well, these are what's left from the little yarns that I used, but it was probably about, I think I had 3-gram scraps that I used for those stripes. So a really good project to use up your leftovers, and a really pretty cowl. I recommend that one as well. Oh, and I use 3.75mm needle for that, if I didn't say that already. Let's put this on. I feel naked otherwise. Have to have something around my neck. It's been cold. I think some days the temperature hasn't gone much over 15 degrees, and because my husband is in air conditioning, so of course our reverse cycle split here in the living areas needs a new compressor, and it's not working. So I've used all of my wool blankets and my wool socks and my shawls and everything to keep warm. But yeah, now the last finished objects. This one and this one. So I made 2 project bags. Let me empty this out because I'm using this. My idea was actually first to use this way, and this was the lining fabric. So this pink foxy one is a flannelette, and then I've got just some basic quilting cotton at the base and a drawstring. I wanted to make a little bit similar to the French cowl. What's their very expensive and popular bag called? Field bag, French field bag. So a little bit that shape. And I used the measurements from these project bags, which I've made with the Noodle Heads open wide zip pouch, the largest version. So about those measurements I used and made this, but I found that I like it better with this side on, out. So that's what I've used. And I made another one as well. Let me pack these in first. My whip, I haven't shown you yet. So that's that. There's my little tag. Which way? That way. Which I finally found. So I had stored it in such a good place that I didn't know myself where it was. And made another one. So this is exactly the same from outside, with a different lining material. So this is lined with this more like a men's suiting material. I didn't use any interfacing, and that was intentional. I wanted to see how they work without any interfacing. This one is a bit more floppy. This one, because this fabric is like a satin, cotton satin, it's a little bit sturdier, so it stands up better than this one. But I wanted to make some more floppy project bags, just so that they don't take much space as the project bag themselves. So that was my experiment, and I made a boxy bottom for them, and I really like these. I will make more of these, maybe a bit bigger ones, but I will make more with this this style anyway. So that's my project bags. There we go. Then we can move on to my whips. I'll show you my whip in here first. And that is another pair of socks. And I was loving knitting on these. Okay, they've been in this bag for a very long time. So I'll have to see how. I got stuck on these and I didn't continue because this was my go-to project that I took with me everywhere. But now I'm starting the heel flap. So I just got sick of it. I didn't want to think, so I just haven't gone any further. But yeah, these are called the Broken Seed Stitch socks. I think it was a free pattern on Ravelry. And you start them from the toe. And then, yeah, you swap color every row. So what I've used here is the same as for my Petty Harbour socks, the Rouva Silmusolmu Merinasukis in Päiväuni, which means daydream. And the other one is again from my Vertices Unite shawl. This is Kässäkerho Pom Pom Donegal Tweed in the color Mustikka. So this is the other color, leftover socks. And yeah, you do this lovely broken seed stitch with the two colors and it's so pretty. Yeah, I think I had a bit of a hard time thinking how to make the heel just one color with this color. That how does the how is the gusset going, and can I do the gusset with the two colors, or should I somehow do it with one color? And I injured my brain thinking about that, so I've just stopped knitting on these, but I think I should because these would be super lovely to wear. And I only have to do the heel and then a little bit of a leg on them and they would be ready. This is where I got the idea for the Mother's Day socks for my mother-in-law, because I thought this side was so pretty. I couldn't decide which side is nicer. So I thought that I'll make socks with just one round stripes. But I think this is nicer because the other one is more varied, like changes color better more. And that's why it looks so pretty in here. I think with more solid colors you would do maybe 2 round stripes. And it would look better maybe. But yeah, that's my sock whip. It goes pretty well with my project bag, doesn't it? Color coded nicely. But yeah, I should really do these a bit more. Next whip, I've had this as a whip before, but now I've worked on it a bit more. It is the absolutely loveliest Poet pullover by Sari Nordlund. This pattern is in the Liner magazine issue 6, I believe. I've got that one. And yeah, now you can also buy it from Ravelry. It's a paid for pattern. And for the longest time, I think last time I showed you, I was about here. And I really wanted to work on this, but because you have to look at the chart constantly because of all of this lace, I just didn't find a time when I could sit down, when I wasn't watching the TV or paying attention to something else, that I could concentrate on these. So for the longest time it just sat and I had done a couple of rows. But not too long ago I got really into this. I thought I really want to wear that jumper, so I need to knit it. And I've been going pretty well. I've separated the sleeves. I've done this much of the body already, and I've tried it on a few times and it looks like it will be just the most perfect jumper. I made a rookie mistake. We were driving down south to visit friends on the weekend, and I thought that, okay, this is the only project I'm taking with me because I want to do this, and sitting in the car, it will be perfect. But I only took the one ball of yarn that I had in my project bag. I didn't remember that I only had like half a ball left. So I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? But yeah, I still have this much left of the ball. So it turns out I had to drive a part of the way, and then we were chatting so much and drinking champagne and doing that kind of stuff. So I really didn't have that much time to knit there. So that yarn was enough. And then I drove home, so I didn't have a chance to knit in the car. But yeah, this is my most active whip at the moment, and I really want to get this ready because I want to wear it. Look at this. Just look at that. How pretty is it? And the yarn that I'm using is, what is this? This is a Spotlight special. I think this is a Spotlight yarn. So it's a 4 Seasons Merino 4-ply, 100% Australian Merino wool. It says 4-ply, but there's only 135 meters in a 50 gram ball, so 270 meters in 100 grams. So it's not quite fingering weight, and the pattern is written for tuku wool fingering. I'm making the size M, and so far it looks like this is a really good size. I don't know how much this will stretch when I soak it, but hopefully not too much. And yeah, I'm just using the white color number 01, and I got these on special. So yeah, this is going to be a fairly affordable jumper. It's so pretty. I can't wait to work on that again, especially now that I found the yarn that I had for this somewhere stashed away very well again, so I didn't remember where it was, but now I found it, so I can start using it. And the last whip lives in my skull bag. Skull and confetti bag. This is a shawl, which I wasn't going to start making, but then something happened and I did. So this is called Villapesusiskot. The pattern is by the Finnish podcast that I've talked about before, called Villapesuohjelma, and the ladies there are Pirjo and Katri, and they've made this pattern. They have a knit along going for this at the moment, and yeah, so this is how far I am. There's just a stockinette section, then there's these awesome horizontal braids, then some brioche, another horizontal braid here, and then lace. I've started the lace there. And this is going to be a triangular shawl, but not just a normal triangle, but a little bit more like this, so that it's easier to wear and it stays on if you want to wear it on your shoulders. So yeah, otherwise I wouldn't have done it, but because of the shape, I thought that okay, maybe I'll try, because yeah, the shape was really interesting to me. I didn't need a normal triangular shawl, but yeah, because of the shape, I thought that I would do. In the middle there's a row of the faux cables again. I had some problems counting my rows there, so that's why there's one that's shorter than the other ones, and then I didn't really like the look of them, so I started to make them shorter here. So it's it's a bit of a mishmash, but that's how it is. The yarns that I'm using for this are let's have a look at the labels. That one is that one. This one's this one. Okay, so this pink and brown is from a Finnish indie dyer, Warmy Ones. It's a merino sock, 75 superwash merino, 25 nylon, 425 meters and 100 grams. Colorway is Snuggle Smuggle. And yeah, that was that. Then we have the green, which is, where's my label? Here. This is again from my Vertices Unite shawl. Käsikerho Pom Pom Donegal Tweed in the colorway Mintu. That's that. And then the last one, this white greyish light color, is from another Finnish indie dyer that I didn't know about until Mum sent this yarn to me. So it's Ulrike by Anki. And it's her Ulrike Merino sock base. Same deal, 75% superwash merino, 25 nylon, 425 meters and 100 grams. And this one is the colorway Birch. So it's got really light grey and this off-whitish base. So those are my yarns, and I'm using my 3.75mm Chaigal needles on this one. Yeah, this one, this horizontal braid, it's knitted with a double strand, and it's so pretty. That was a new thing that I learned doing this. So yeah, this has been on hold a little bit because I've been knitting on that poet pullover. But yeah, that's just how it is. And then a little bit of statistics, just super quickly. In March, I finished 7 projects. And I used 481 grams, which was almost 2 kilometers, so 1,963 meters. April, 5 projects finished, 358 grams, just over a kilometer of yarn, with 1,097 meters. And then May I finished only 2 projects. I think it was a pair of socks and this cowl. So yeah, I used 146 grams, which was 570 meters. So that's just the stats. And then I've got quite a bit of acquisitions. Let's go through them quick, and maybe we can then finish. So a while back, Mum sent me, she had bought me some of this arvetta. I've never tried this before those Mother's Day socks. So she sent me a few. So it was, I got 100 grams of this lovely winey color and 100 grams of a pink. And I got a yellow, light mint green, and then the green that I used for those socks. And yeah, this is a 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon, a fingering wet sock yarn. And this is a Danish yarn. So yeah, so far I've liked it. I found the yarn a little bit splitty, but otherwise really, really nice to work with. So that was that. Then, I'll show these first. These were on special. I went to Lindcraft a long time ago, and these were on special. So I've never tried this before. This is Lincraft's own yarn, Minerva yarn, European collection. It is 50% wool, 37% viscose, 10% nylon and 3% polyester. It's about 300 meters per 100 grams. It's got this little shimmer. Yeah, it's golden shimmer there. So I bought 2 balls and I thought that maybe I'll make a beanie for myself. Haven't yet, but it's waiting there if I get the inspiration. And then Felix had this lovely Moomin jumper. Oh, actually, this first, because this came with the sock yarn Mum sent me. So she also sent me this pattern book full of Moomin patterns. There's 7 patterns, and I'll quickly show them to you. So there's these socks from the cover. A lot of work. I'm not sure if I would start making these. Another pair of colorwork socks. And these lovely mittens with Moomin Papa. Then, oh, there's Moomin Mama socks. There's a better picture of the Moomin Mama. And there's, oh, this is my favorite. So it's a scarf. I can't remember what this technique is called, but yeah, as you can see, it's double-sided, and then a lovely Moomin figure in there. So I might try that if I get into those long scarves. And then a couple of nice beanies with all the Moomins. And then these cute Moomin socks. Yep, so that was it. And there's the Moomin socks. So I've got a few patterns there that I can utilize. And then, yeah, Felix had this lovely Moomin jumper that Mum had knitted him. But it was too small, and Felix said that, oh, I want a new one. I want a new one. So we sent my mum a message that Felix wants a new Moomin jumper, and so does Finn. So what does a good grandma do? Over Easter, she had these done, and she had to send them. So blue is Felix's favorite color. So of course, Felix got a blue Moomin jumper. And orange is Finsky's favorite color, so he got an orange one. And the boys were so excited when these came. So Mum's made these. I don't know the patterns or anything. I do know the yarns because she sent me the leftovers for it. So the blue one is made with Drops Bell unicolor. Mum lost the ball band for this blue, so the ball band, the color code is for the black one, but this one is 53% cotton, 33% viscose and 14% linen, and there is 120 meters in 50 grams, so 240 meters in 100 grams. Quite thick. But yeah, that's that. And the orange one is made with Novita Cotton Soft, and this one is 100% cotton, same yardage, so 240 meters in 100 grams. So those were the jumpers. And in the same package, she sent me my birthday present. This package has come weeks and weeks ago. My birthday is in a couple of weeks. So, yeah, nice. And she sent me so much yarn lately that I've forgotten about some of it. So this might be a surprise for me on my birthday if I go and have a look at it then. But what she sent me was a couple of cotton sock yarn. So Sahemaya Regia cotton color Tutti Frutti 2. So this one must be like a citrus color. Self-striping. This is 72% cotton, 18% polyamide and 10% polyester. Do I find a color name? No, it's just a number. 2424. And then this one, passion fruit one. Yeah, so more socks to be made. Then I got more sock yarn, something I haven't used before. And this is onion knit nettle sock yarn. So this one is 70% wool and 30% nettle fibers. Very interesting. Natural sock yarn. And I believe this is superwash wool and then the nettle fibers. 50 grams is 185 meters, so 370 meters per 100 gram. So this lovely grey, like a silvery grey, and this old pink and purple. I'm not a purple person, but look at that. You stripe that together, that would be beautiful. Even these are beautiful together, aren't they? So those 5 skeins. Then I got some of this Sandnesgarn Tunline. So this is 53% cotton, 33 viscose and 14% linen. 220 meters per 50 grams, so 440 per 100. Norwegian yarn in this lovely soft pink. I've got this same yarn for a summer, like a t-shirt looking shirt in a little bit different colors. So now I've got another. So we'll have to see what I do with these. And then last one, I'll just show these two. I got these DMC Natura linen. So this one is 58% linen, 26% viscose and 16% cotton. 300 meters in 100 grams. So these are 50 gram balls. I got these 2 colors, 4 of each. So I've got 200 grams and 200 grams, so 400 grams of this linen. And I'm thinking some summer top or something like that, or maybe even a scarf. These would be lovely summer scarf or a spring scarf. But yeah, that was my score from Mum for my birthday. Mum and Dad, of course. And I got this pattern book in there as well, which had all kinds of pictures of patterns. It's from Yardbogan. So I guess you probably get the patterns from. Oh no, there are. Okay, there are instructions for some patterns, but not all of them. So I'm assuming that you can go onto the website and maybe find the patterns, but yeah, that was nice. Let me just pack these in. And then last acquisition, and then we can finish, was I ordered a custom dyed skein of yarn based on this photo that I've shown you before. So my super talented photographer friend who took a photo of my boys in my hometown last July when we were in Finland. And I sent this photo to Debbie at Fisherman's Rib, who is one of my favorite, the favorite indie dyer here in Western Australia. And she made a custom colorway for me, and it's here. Should I unwrap this? Sorry. Yeah, I haven't even squished it yet. But let's see. Pretty good, hey? This is the colorway. I don't know what to do with this yet. I just wanted to have this. Maybe I'll make a shawl, or maybe, I don't know. I've got no idea yet. But I'm quite happy with this. I've never done a custom colorway with a indie dyer, and I'm super happy, so maybe that might be the way to go. All right, I have talked way too long, and this is going to be a pain to upload onto the YouTube. So yeah, I'll just say thank you for watching, and I'll hope to see you next time, whenever that is. And yeah, have a good rest of the day, and summer if you're in the northern hemisphere, and winter if you're here in the south. But yeah, see you next time. Bye.